Chosen 1. Emergency Update. Stop and listen. Now. The air feels heavy tonight. Chosen 1. There is something moving unseen. A current of urgency. A vibration that does not wait for tomorrow. It presses on your chest. It stirs your thoughts. It rattles your soul. You didn't come here by accident. You were pulled here. Pulled by the whisper of heaven that said, "Stop. Listen. There is something you must hear." This is not entertainment. This is not background noise. This is an emergency update for your spirit. A signal has been sent out, and you are one of the few who can receive it. Others scroll past, blind and deaf to the urgency. But you are awake enough to know that when God places a sudden alarm in your path, you do not ignore it. You stop. You listen. You prepare. Chosen 1, before this message unfolds, I want you to pause for a moment. In the comments below, release your warmest wishes to the universe. Pour out what you carry deep within your heart, the dreams you've whispered when no one was watching, the blessings you hope for yourself and for others. Seal those wishes with the sacred number 777 as a declaration that you are aligning with divine flow. Write it boldly, without hesitation, and watch as your energy ignites unseen fires of transformation. Now, Chosen 1, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. Now listen carefully. This update comes like a siren in the night, because time is shifting. There is no more waiting for the right moment. The moment is here. God's chosen are being gathered in urgency, because the seasons ahead will not be gentle. The shaking that has already begun in your life was not punishment. It was preparation. Every tear you cried, every plan that collapsed, every friendship that dissolved, every strange isolation you endured, all of it was the alarm clock. The universe does not shake you for comfort. It shakes you for awakening. And now, the alarm is blaring. Wake up, Chosen 1, for the time is now. You feel it already, don't you? That strange pressure in the unseen, that quickening of the spirit when you lie awake at night. The questions running in your head. Why now? Why me? Why this path? Let me tell you, this is your confirmation. You are not crazy. You are not imagining it. The chosen always sense the tremors before the earthquake. You feel what others cannot. While the world distracts itself with noise, you pick up on the signal. That's why you've been restless. That's why your spirit refuses to settle. Heaven has been pulling you closer, pulling you into alignment. And now the message is clear. Emergency. Stop everything. Listen now. And what exactly are you being told? You are being told that the cover is lifting. The illusions that once blinded you are crumbling. The roles people played around you, the masks they wore, the false promises they gave. This season will expose it all. That's why you've been distanced from certain people. That's why doors have slammed shut in your face. It wasn't rejection. It was protection. Because what's coming requires you to be light on your feet, free from distractions, unchained from toxic ties. If you had stayed where you were, you would have been caught in the collapse. But you were pulled out. That is the emergency update. You were moved not because of weakness, but because of strength. Think about it. Every time you thought you lost something, what really happened? You gained clarity. Every time someone left you, what really occurred? Your path became lighter. Every delay that made you frustrated was secretly a divine pause, keeping you from walking into the wrong season. The chosen one's life does not run on the same clock as the world. When others rush, you are delayed. When others celebrate, you are hidden. When others seem to move freely, you are restricted. And then, suddenly, when the signal comes, everything flips. This is that moment. This is the flip. Emergency means sudden, unstoppable change, and it is here. Do not underestimate the weight of this hour. You are standing at a threshold, and once you cross, there is no going back. The update is clear. Your old identity is dead. The world may still call you by it, but heaven no longer recognizes it. You've been stripped, refined, emptied, and now you are being filled. Filled with strength you didn't have before. Filled with wisdom you didn't ask for. Filled with discernment that cuts through every lie. This is why the attacks against you felt heavier recently, because the enemy always senses when a chosen one is about to rise. But every dart they threw at you, every whisper of doubt they sent, every trap they laid, it only exposed how important you are. The more resistance you face, the clearer your identity becomes. Chosen one, you are stepping into an accelerated season. What normally takes years will take months. What normally takes months will take weeks. Doors will open not because you forced them, but because you carry the emergency pass of heaven. Understand this. When an emergency update is sent, all normal systems are overridden. Rules are bent. Processes are bypassed. You will walk into places others waited years to enter. You will find opportunities that were hidden from everyone else. You will gain insight that scholars spent decades chasing. Why? Because when God presses emergency, nothing can delay you anymore. You become unstoppable, and this is why you must listen. This update is not just about blessings, it is about readiness. Because acceleration demands stability. Can you handle what is coming? Can you carry the weight without breaking? Can you hold the light without burning out? That is why you were tested. That is why you were humbled. That is why you walked through nights of silence. So that when this acceleration hits, you won't collapse under the pressure. You'll stand, rooted, unshaken. You'll be the calm in the storm while others panic. You'll be the clarity in the chaos while others are blind. You'll be the answer in a world drowning in questions. That's why the emergency update was given to you, because you are ready, even if you don't feel like it. So pause and breathe. Absorb this truth. The shaking was your preparation. The urgency is your signal. The emergency is your confirmation. You are chosen, and chosen ones don't receive updates by accident. You are being entrusted with this message because you have been marked. And now that you know, you can't go back. The only way forward is through the storms, through the fire, through the unknown, but also through the breakthrough, through the unveiling, through the destiny you were always meant to walk in. Stop, listen, remember, and prepare yourself, because this is only the beginning of what is about to unfold. The atmosphere is shifting. Chosen one. Can you feel it pressing against your skin, whispering through the silence, rattling the edges of your soul? This is no ordinary moment. The signs are converging all at once, and you are standing right in the middle of them. You've been marked as different for a long time, but now that difference is no longer just a private truth. It's becoming public. What was hidden is about to be revealed, and the urgency in the air is heaven's way of telling you that you must be awake, alert, and prepared. This is why the message comes as an emergency. There is no time to hesitate, no time to doubt, no time to stay tangled in old patterns. The ground beneath your feet is moving, and you must learn to move with it. Chosen one, think of the last few months. Think of the unease that would not let you rest. Think of the sudden shifts that made no logical sense. One door after another closed without explanation. People vanished from your life without warning. Paths you thought were certain suddenly collapsed. You asked yourself, why now? Why all at once? This is your answer. It was never random. Every disruption was positioning you for this very update. Heaven does not waste energy. The moment you felt stripped bare, the moment you felt like everything was falling apart, that was the moment your foundation was being reset. And now, with this emergency signal, you are being told, stand up, because the rebuilding begins now. There is no going back to the old version of you. Even if you wanted to, it wouldn't fit anymore. The old dreams don't excite you. The old conversations bore you. The old environments suffocate you. Why? Because your spirit has already outgrown them. The emergency update is not about adding new layers to your old self. It is about revealing the transformed you that has been forming in silence. Think of a butterfly emerging from a cocoon. Once it breaks open, it cannot return to being a caterpillar. Once it tastes the sky, crawling no longer satisfies. That's you, chosen one. This update is the breaking of the cocoon, the ripping of the shell, the birth of a new form. And like every birth, it comes with urgency, with shaking, with intensity, but also with destiny. You must understand, emergencies come when there is danger, but also when there is opportunity. The danger is that if you ignore the call, you will miss what was prepared for you. If you dismiss the signal, you may remain stuck in cycles that were never meant for you. The opportunity, however, is that if you stop and listen, if you align yourself now, you will step into acceleration unlike anything you've known. Paths will part before you. Obstacles will dissolve. Time will bend in your favor. That is why heaven does not whisper politely this time. It shouts, it alarms, it demands. Because what you carry cannot be delayed anymore. It must come forth, and it must come forth now. And here's the part that makes your role so critical. The emergency update was not sent to everyone. Most people around you are asleep. They are too distracted by the noise of the world to hear the signal. They are too caught up in surface-level living to notice the spiritual current surging beneath. But you heard it. That alone proves your calling. The chosen are always few, always scattered, always hidden until the appointed time. And then, suddenly, the veil lifts, and they rise all at once. That is what this update is about. The rising. Your rising. The sudden unveiling of what has been hidden in you for years. But with rising comes resistance. Do not think for a moment that this will be easy. The same urgency that propels you forward will also draw the attention of opposition. You may already feel it. The strange tension in your relationships, the whispers of jealousy, the sudden attacks that seem to come from nowhere. That's because the enemy senses your shift. Darkness always detects light before light fully manifests. But do not fear. The resistance is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of importance. The fact that you are being fought so fiercely means that what you carry is that powerful, that necessary, that unstoppable. The resistance is proof of the weight of your assignment. Now here is the heart of the emergency update. This is a turning point, a threshold moment. You are not being asked to crawl slowly toward change. You are being called to leap. A leap in faith. A leap in courage. A leap in surrender. This is why you've been stripped of comfort, because comfort kills leaps. Comfort keeps you sitting when you were meant to run. And so, heaven allowed the rug to be pulled, the plans to crumble, the people to leave. Not to destroy you, but to free you. And now the signal is clear. The leap must happen. No delay, no hesitation, no looking back. When the emergency siren sounds, you don't wait. You move. Ask yourself, are you willing to move? Are you willing to step into the unknown, trusting that the same God who sounded the alarm is the one who will guide your steps? This is the challenge of the chosen: to walk when others stand still, to listen when others ignore, to move when nothing makes sense. But remember, chosen ones were never meant to blend in. You were always meant to stand out. And when heaven declares an emergency, the chosen ones respond with obedience. This is why you are here now. This is why your spirit would not rest. This is why you felt pulled to this message. Because you are being summoned into alignment, into awakening, into destiny. Chosen one, let me be clear. The days ahead will not feel normal. You may wake up with an unexplainable urgency, a fire in your chest, a sense that something is about to break open. Do not dismiss it. That is the signal repeating itself. That is heaven's way of keeping you awake. You will notice unusual patterns, strange encounters, divine coincidences that are too perfect to be random. Pay attention to them. These are not accidents. They are confirmations. They are the breadcrumbs leading you toward your assignment. And as you follow them, you will see the path form beneath your feet step by step, even if you don't yet see the full picture. So hear this again. Emergency update. Stop and listen now. This is not just a phrase. It is a command for your soul. A command to silence the distractions, to shut out the noise, to tune into the signal. Because everything you've been waiting for is not in the distant future. It is breaking into your present. And if you dare to believe, if you dare to step, if you dare to move, then this urgent call will not just be a message you heard. It will be the turning point of your life. Chosen one, the alarm has been sounded. The question is, will you respond? Chosen one, lean in closer. The signal is still ringing, and it will not stop until you respond. You may try to distract yourself, to bury the urgency under routine, but it follows you. It meets you in your quiet moments. It interrupts your thoughts in the middle of the day. It wakes you at night with a stirring you cannot silence. This is the nature of the emergency. It refuses to be ignored. And deep down, you already know that pretending nothing is happening is no longer an option. You feel it in your bones. Life as you knew it is dissolving, and a new order is demanding to be born. That is why the pressure feels so heavy. That is why the timing feels so abrupt. When heaven sounds the alarm, it is not to play games. It is to command your attention. And now, you must decide whether you will listen with the depth your spirit demands. You may have wondered why everything around you has intensified, why your emotions swing heavier than usual, why people respond to you with sudden hostility or strange admiration, why you've been walking through days where the air feels charged, as if something unseen is pacing back and forth, waiting. That's not paranoia. That's not imagination. That is the spiritual atmosphere adjusting itself around you. You are stepping into alignment with something that carries eternal weight, and the environment cannot help but react. Your presence disturbs the balance of spaces that are not meant to hold you anymore. That's why conflict rises. That's why peace feels so elusive in places you used to settle. You are too big for them now. The emergency update is pushing you forward, stripping away everything that tries to anchor you backward. Chosen one, think of what happens when a storm approaches. The air shifts. Animals move differently. The sky itself seems to groan with anticipation. The signs are everywhere if you are sensitive enough to see them. That is exactly what's happening in your life now. The storm of change is upon you, and everything is signaling it. The people falling away, the doors closing, the restless nights, the sudden encounters with strangers who speak truth into your life. It is all part of the storm announcing itself. Do not resist it. Do not cling to the structures that are being dismantled. The emergency update is heaven's way of saying, the storm is not here to kill you. It is here to move you. And yet, the storm terrifies those who are not chosen. They scramble to hold on to comfort, to preserve control, to deny what is shifting. You've seen it. Their panic, their denial, their desperate attempts to drag you back into old patterns. Do not mistake their fear for wisdom. Do not let their hesitation infect your courage. You were not meant to fear the storm. You were meant to ride it. To stand in the middle of the chaos with unshaken resolve, knowing that you were built for this exact hour. The emergency update is your permission slip to rise while others hide. It is your reminder that you are not ordinary, and ordinary reactions no longer apply to you. But make no mistake, rising requires sacrifice. The update demands that you release what cannot come with you. This is why you've been grieving losses that you can't even explain. Friendships fading, dreams dissolving, parts of yourself that feel like they're dying. It hurts, but it is holy. Because if you cling to what is crumbling, you will collapse with it. You are being asked to let go, not because you are being punished, but because your hands must be free to receive what is next. The emergency update is about unclenching your fists, opening your palms, and trusting that what you lose now is nothing compared to what you are about to gain. And here is the mystery. The very things that seem like setbacks are actually accelerators. The very places where you feel stripped are the places where you are being equipped. What looks like silence is preparation. What feels like emptiness is the foundation for overflow. Do not misinterpret the process. Heaven never takes without replacing, but replacement requires space, and space requires surrender. That's why the update came so suddenly, because you were holding on too tightly, and heaven had to rip certain things away before you missed your moment. It feels like chaos, but it is strategy. And soon, you will look back and realize that every loss was a setup for alignment. Chosen one, this is not just about survival. It is about assignment. You were born to carry light into a world unraveling. Your silence has expired, your hiding season is over, and your time of being overlooked has ended. The alarm is sounding, and your role has begun.